Oh, hey, that's funky. Hi, guys. How do I get that off? There we go. Hi, everyone. It is me, Bec, the Australian Psychic Barber. It is Sunday night, and I was kind of looking for something to do, and thought I'd jump on and just say hi. It's been a while. It's been quite a long while since I've jumped on and communicated with any of you guys, and I just thought I'd catch up, see how everyone is. Hi, Jess, April. Hey, Tim, how you all going? Look, yeah, I am sorry that I haven't been on in such a while. As a psychic medium, sometimes you have to step back from what we do in order to sort of I guess, gather our energies back. If we don't look after ourselves and we don't do what we need to do, then we're no good to the rest of you guys. And so I did take a step back. It's been an interesting 6 months. I think it's been around about that time. What have I been doing? I've actually been working in the funeral industry. I've been working as a funeral director and a funeral arranger, and a mortician as well. And it is such a highly rewarding job to be able to do that for loved ones. And it works hand in hand with what I do for you guys as a psychic medium. But I do miss the mediumship. Okay, I do miss you guys. So hence, that's why I thought I'd jump on tonight and see if I can answer some questions and just touch base, because I guess when you step back from something, you realize what you miss as well. And I do miss you guys. I was kind of, dragging my heels a little bit towards the end of the Banters, coming up to 6 months ago. And, like I said, sometimes you just got to come back, refuel, and get ready to go again. Now, I can't promise that it's going to be all, running on full blast right off the bat, but I will be coming back, and I will re-engage with all of you and bring the banter back to its Sunday night platform. Hey, Tam, you've been on my mind today a lot, actually, so we have to catch up. I've got your Lego as well. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you guys been up to? I'm so blind at the moment. I need my eyes checked, so everything's a bit blurry. Joe, how are you going? Yeah, exactly, Jess. You need to reground yourself. I had an incredible show. Oh God, was it last week? I think it was last week. And was actually to raise money for one of my incredible mentors, who's actually poorly with cancer at the moment. And, when you're an entertainer and, you can do what you do, you bring it together to help people. And we had an incredible night and raised over $11,000. So, yeah. That's all really cool. Hi, Joe. Hi, Amelia. How are you going? Are you well? So what I thought I'd do, Jace, hey, I'm going to do that reading for you this week. But I want to try and do it face-to-face. Natalia, hello, my beautiful. Give that husband of yours a big kiss from me. Liddy, you was at the show. Yeah, it was an incredible show. It was, it's one of my favorite places to actually be in front of a live audience. Stacey, I'm on here because I guess you reminded me. And also what to, I am so bloody blind. I tell ya. I don't know if any of you guys have got glasses, but you go through and you think, oh yeah, I need to get my eyes checked. And then all of a sudden, everything's bloody blurry and you can't see a thing. So I really do need to get some new glasses, because, it is really messy. I actually bought myself a huge computer screen because I was doing a presentation for the show last week, and I could not see the fine details. So it just goes to show you old age catches up, which is really cool. You moved to you're in New South Wales, Jess. Oh, wow. All right. So what I thought I'd do tonight, guys, is, let's do some mediumship. Thank you, Natalia, and then tell him to give you one back. Those of you who don't know, I'm talking to is Natalia, the beautiful wife of my incredible friend Red Horse, who's one of our North American Indian superstars. Everybody would have met him, but anyway, Natalia and Red Horse are a power unto none, and they're two of my dearest friends that I love dearly. So yes, Jason's gone to get a cuppa. If anyone else needs to go and get a cuppa, go get a cuppa. But yeah, look, I think it's what is it? Is the real time 8:56? I know that daylight savings has stopped today. So what is the time? I need to know whether everything's updated on its own or whether I have to turn back something, as Cher would say, turn back time. I'm just reading your messages. Hi, 8:56. Thanks, Joe. Awesome. So my computer's updated itself and my iPhone's updated itself. Sweet. Awesome. All right. So Elaine, how are you, my love? Are you working at the moment? It's 20:56 Sunday night in Melbourne. I don't even know what day it is. My days just blend into one at the moment. It's all crazy, but let's get down to it. We all know why we're here. We all love to get messages from spirit. So I thought I'm a little bit bored. My flatmates have just turned their TV on. So just give me a second because I'm just going to shut my window. 2 seconds. There we go. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to hear shit. Trisha Hanley. Hi, Trish. How you going? You're doing a lot. That's great. Elaine, are you doing MBS? I don't know what I'm doing yet. Tonight, I'm going to do this. Yeah. All right. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and let's work with spirit a little bit. I might be a little bit out of practice, if that's a thing. So just bear with me because I haven't been doing heaps and heaps of work. That's my choice because I have sort of, been concentrating on other things. And I guess working in the funeral industry, it really is a learning curve for me as a person. And it has helped me grow in so many different ways, especially when dealing with grief. And as a psychic medium, the main element that we deal with essentially when you guys come to us is grief, because it's always usually I've lost a loved one, I want to hear about them, I want to see how they are they okay, are they safe, are they happy, are they in pain, all that sort of stuff. And when you're working hands-on with a deceased person and caring for them and their families, it really does open up the spectrum a whole lot more, and a whole lot more understanding across the board becomes, evident, especially for me. So for those of you that will have readings with me in the future, my readings may be a little bit approached a little bit differently, but I've also got a lot more tools and I guess a lot more understanding as to how things work, what you guys go through, in dealing with passing over process. And, it really has been, I think, an important part of my internal growth that I can hopefully then forward on to you guys as well. So, it has been worthwhile. And, I will continue to work in that industry side by side with this one, because I do believe they both go together for me. Together they allow me to do the best job that I can do for spirit, for God, whoever you believe in. And of course, for the people that I come in contact with. But anyway, I'm going to jump in because I have a beautiful, beautiful gentleman here that's waiting for me. And he's a rounded little guy. You know, I would put him probably around about 5'6", 5'7". I wouldn't say he's very tall at all. Little rounded gentleman, very cute, very gentle. He doesn't have much hair. Okay, I can tell you that he doesn't have much hair, but he does have a sprite smile on him. He does have a walking stick with him as well, and I do believe also that his wife is still here, still living with us. Okay, now I am hearing the word Stanley. Now that could mean anything. We know this; it could mean anything, but I am hearing the word Stan or Stanley. So I know that there's a correlation there for somebody. Stan or Stanley may have lost a loved one. Okay. Joanna, I'm not using cards at the moment. You know, I have to you know, just acknowledge that he is standing here. So Stan or Stanley, little rounded gentleman, who I put him at, again, I'm going to repeat it, about 5'7", 5'7", 5'8". He's not that tall. He doesn't have any hair or very little hair. You know, he's just dressed casually. Okay, I don't think he would have been a formal kind of person, very casual. You know, very neat, very generous person as well. He's telling me I'm a very organized person. So I know that this person is very, very organized, very structured, very in control, very neat, knows what's coming next, all that sort of stuff. He does have a dog with him as well. So I know that he has a companion in spirit. That is a canine. So I have to make that relevant. And there's either Elise, Elizabeth, or Elsie that I have to connect him with as well. So can anyone here place these details that I'm giving you? If I have to look to the big screen, it's because I am blind. Okay. I just haven't got a camera for that thing yet. Hi, Cassie Lee. Guys, can anybody place this beautiful gentleman? I'm going to go over the information again. He's given me the name Stan or Stanley. He's a little gentleman. I'd put him, oh, how old are you, mate? Gosh, I would put him in his late 60s, 68 comes to my head, or comes to my mind, 68 as I blend with him. 5'7", somewhere around about that. A connection to an E and A. So it's Elizabeth, Elsie, Elizabeth. I said Elizabeth twice. Elizabeth, Elsie, Elsa. It's like an E connection there as well. He's showing me driving. So he may have been a truck driver. Okay. So, you know, he may have driven a truck for a living. And there's something, I don't know whether it's liver cancer connection here, or something related to his stomach, because he's showing me a swollen stomach. And I know it's not him, but he's showing me a swollen stomach. So if anybody can place that, that would be really awesome. As I said, I might be a little bit rusty, but spirit isn't. Okay. So I know that there's definitely a connection here. We just need to find who he belongs to. Oh gosh, I'm seeing the laying down of bricks, guys. Okay, he's showing me the laying down of bricks. So either somebody's been laying down bricks this week, or there's a bricklayer, or he was a bricklayer as well. But I do see him driving a truck. So I can only pass across what they show me, of course, as you're aware. He has a really cool smile, may have had a moustache as well at some stage. Don't know whether he had it at the time of his passing, but there may have been a moustache and pictures with a moustache. Also, it's kind of a full moustache as well. You know, not a thin lip moustache or anything like that, but kind of like I call them 1970s porno moustaches, but you guys know what I mean. A full moustache as well. There's a scar on his head as well. So there may have been a fall at some stage, a bad fall or a head injury that puts in there too. So can anyone place any of this information? Just remember, guys, it could be somebody near and around you. It could be a loved one. It could be somebody that you work with. It might be somebody that they know. Just need to pass this information across. Right, he's trying to play music. Let me just try and get what he's talking about. AC/DC. Is it? It's some sort of music. Hang on. being reminded of John Farnham at the moment. So I don't know if the name John connects or John Farnham connects, but I have to. Hi, Abby. I was reading some information about John Farnham today, actually, about how he's poorly. And bless his heart. I don't predict death, and I never will predict death, but I do feel that he's having a bit of a hard struggle at the moment. We'll wait and see, but I don't think things are as good for him as what we have been led to believe. But anyway, Eb, what can you place? Let me go over the information again. I've been given the name Stan or Stanley. He's the 68, 67 age-wise, somewhere there. He's just a sort of like little rounded gentleman, no hair or very little hair. There's a dog with him. I am connected to, I'm being advised by him that there's something to do with, I don't know whether it's liver or liver cancer, or there's something there in his stomach that's not quite right. I don't know whether it's cancer or cirrhosis or something there anyway, but I know that there's something there that's going on. Hi, David. There's Lyndall. All right, so Lyndall's... Hi, Amy. Lyndall's got... My dad's middle name is Stanley. He drove a truck. No scar, though. Oh, he had older... Yeah, no, this guy's got no hair. Very little hair. But that could have been the result of chemo or something like that as well. I just know that there's something there. Stan is my partner's pa. Okay, Ebby. Is that what you got? Okay, so I'll go over it again, Ebs, because I know that it's relevant, and I know that Spirit's never wrong. And I've told you this so many times before, guys, that bloated stomach when he died. Yeah. And the name, oh, well, you've got the E name, but is there an Elizabeth, or like I want to place an Elizabeth with him? Elizabeth, E. Elsie or something along those lines. I have to place that there. John or John Farnham, something to do there, because I've been reminded of him as well, so I have to put that in there. Bricklaying, truck driving. And your partner's got a big head scar. Look, Eb, I think this is for you. Let me just get some more information from him, because the scar on the head is really prominent. Or him showing me the scar on the head is really prominent. I also place a walking stick with this guy as well. I shouldn't say guy, with this gentleman as well. He's very casually dressed. He's no fuss kind of man. Loves his food, but there definitely is something not right with his stomach. He's not disclosing too much, and I'm being urged not to force too much, so it must have been a sensitive issue. But he's a very, very loving person. He has a watch in his hand, Eb, so I don't know whether your partner has his watch, or whether there is a watch, if you can verify that for me. But he's got a watch in his hand. John Farnham is with Stan's son. Not quite sure what that means. All right, Eb, definitely with you. Yay, we found him. We found him. And Ebby, Nana's still living, is she? There's a woman that he's really fond of. He's wanting to pass across love to this lady. And I do feel like she's living. I do feel like there's somebody living that's very, very special to him, that he's been separated from in passing, in death, if that makes sense. He's a beautiful person. He's got the hugest heart, and broad shoulders, and he does come through with this feeling of letting people down, if that makes sense. Of letting people down. He's showing me him lying down. He's showing me looking at a picture of this woman as well. So I know that, she was very, very special to him. But look, message that I have to bring, because we know they always come for a message, all right? And the message is unification, Eddie. He's wanting to just acknowledge unification and unity and the bringing together, I guess, that grief can bring. And he's just saying, you know, you guys have been through so much. And he's referring to you and your partner, of course. I have to say too that there's a child in spirit with him. Now, I don't know whether she, I'm going to say, is yet to come or has been, but he's just letting me know that he has her with him. All right. So I'm going to put that on the table there as well. You know, just let you know that, you know, she's there with him, whether she's been already, you know, through miscarriage, or whether she's yet to come down. But she's definitely waiting there, because he's letting me know that she has that. He's letting me know that she's with him. And of course, he's got the dog. Now, I don't know whether that's your beautiful dog, but he does have a dog with him, because he's just reminded me. All I can see is the feet, the paws, okay? And these paws are really important. And I do believe the paws have prints that have been left in this earthly plane. So, Abby, he's just wanting to say, just gather together, support each other, love one another. You know, life is about ups and downs. And, you know, he's saying my moral compass may not have always been on spot, or my moral compass may not have always been, you know, facing north. But he's saying, you know, I've always loved you guys. I'm always going to be there for you guys. And he's loving watching everybody grow up, mature, and, you know, move forward on their own journey. So I'm going to leave that with you, my love. And he's a beautiful, beautiful man. And as I always say to everybody, if you've got a photo, send it through to me, because I love seeing who I've read. Right. That is so cool. Hi, Jackie. What time is it over there? I love my Scottish people. Glasgow. That's probably the worst Scottish accent. But anyway, please forgive me, Jack. All right, so there you go. You know, spirit always comes back. 12/12. Is it really? Oh, it's his anniversary yesterday. There you go. Well, I guess that's what you were looking for. So that's really cool. Let me see who else I can get. See who else we've got that's coming through. First time here from, hi, New Zealand. How are you? Lunchtime. Do you believe spirit contacts through numbers? I constantly see 44 every hour. April, I believe that spirit contacts in every way possible. Some people will make a connection through spirit via numbers, via feathers, via butterflies. You know, if you believe that, you know, you are being connected by spirit, then yes, of course, okay. But I do know that 44 is an angel number. And so if you just Google numerology and the meaning of number 44, you'll probably find that there's a message there. And the reason why you're seeing it is because you haven't actually acknowledge what they are trying to give you in the moment. But yes, most definitely, they do contact us in any way. And if you can relate to numbers, then that's how they're going to pass it across for you. I'm sorry I'm not dressed for tonight. Like, I've just got a T-shirt on. I just had a look at myself and thought, oh my God. But you know what? Sometimes it's nice to just be spontaneous and jump on and, you know, just be in the moment. Thanks, Cole. April. Oh, okay. All right. I have got one word. All right. And I know that somebody on here is going to go, yeah, that makes sense for me. Lavender. Okay. Somebody has just yelled out to me, say lavender. Okay. I do believe I have a beautiful lady that's coming forward, but somehow lavender is relevant here. I don't know whether somebody's been picking lavender or working with lavender, or somebody has an animal named lavender, but you know, lavender is somehow important and relevant here. So can anyone place lavender, or anyone been working with lavender? I work with lavender oil a lot. Hi, Janice. Your nan love lavender. Oh my God, of course, everyone's going to jump on. All right, I need a bit more than that, my lady. Okay, so let's see what I can get. A little bit more than just that. But has anybody working with lavender today by any chance? Did anybody know that? I'm assuming that Pios is oils. It's come out backwards. And I've been looking for dried lavender. All right, let me get some more information. All she's given me is lavender. Now, this beautiful lady is very, very well put together. She's only little, she's only tiny, very slim framed. She has a beautiful long face and high cheekbones, beautiful blue eyes. And she likes her red lipstick. She has her nails done. She likes her beads. She looks like she's going to church, to be honest with you. But this is the sort of lady that's coming forward. She wants you to know, hey, I'm presented. I've come here all dressed up for this occasion. And look, this could have been the way that she was dressed in her, end of preparation time. It could have been something that she actually loved. But this is the way that she's actually coming forward. And those little clip-on earrings that grannies used to have, like the little clip-on numbers. I used to try and put them on, and then they hurt like hell. She's showing me those, though. She would have had those in her younger years, not so much older in her oldest, but I would say like somewhere around the 1940s. I would put her 1940s, 1950s would have had these little clip-on numbers. She's showing that she is a little bit. Look, she's got a prayer book with her or something small. I don't know whether it's a diary or a book or prayer book. She's not opened it yet. I can just see the front cover. It's a traditional little old book, probably palm size, I can see. So she's giving me that as well. Now, I don't know whether the name Hazel is relevant here, or Hazel or Hannah or H. I can see a H name connected to her because they are showing me the H. And, my mentors always said to me, if you can get the H back, you can get the name. Well, it's not always that easy. Sometimes they don't give you the name. But there's definitely a H. And I'm hearing I don't know whether it's Harriet, Henrietta, or H. Got to place a H with her somewhere, Hazel, somewhere that's coming in as well. Bless her heart. Let me just see what else I can get from you. Very thin wrists. She does have a lot of skin, a lot of skin slips. So she's got a lot of loose skin, if that makes sense. So I don't know whether she's lost a little bit of weight towards the end of her life. She's had a good innings, though. She does look like she's lived. So I would put her well in her 80s, if not 90s, 93, 94. Let's take that from her, 93, 94. Connection to 4 children, 1 of 4, the month 4, she showed me 4. Want to go with 4 kids, so there must be a connection there. Is anyone placing her, please? Hi, Rachel. I'm seeing it's a dice, actually, or a die or dice, like a rolling of the dice or die, something there. She may have played cards like bridge or something like that. Cole, were her eyes light colored, blue or green? You're saying they're not blue. Were they green? When I work with spirit eyes, usually they're light colored or they're dark colored, and I can get it wrong. They were Hazel. Her name was Diane, and she played poker. Okay, Ebby, really? Okay, all right. Eb, what can you give me on this one, please? The hazel eyes. Okay. She had 4 boys. Or she wears gloves, or she's got gloves, or she wore gloves, or I don't know whether they're fingerless gloves she had, or gloves. There's something about gloves with this lady as well. Need a bit more information. Okay, there's a few of you that think it may be a possible. Let me go through the information again with her. So she's a beautiful lady. She's only a slim build. I want to put her in the 90s, 93, 94, somewhere there. She likes her beads. She likes her, her beautiful dress. She looks beautiful in navy. Lipstick, long jawline, high cheekbones. She's got long hands. She's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, she's telling me. Might have been a little bit of dementia just sneaking in there, or she's telling me just a bit of a stroke. Okay, so there must have been something here as well. Stroke, aneurysm, something there, just to impinge just minorly her cognitive function occasionally, is what she's telling me. Ebby, you've got the clip-on earrings. Yep, she loved her clip-on earrings, but I don't think she wore them so much towards the end of her life. But I know, like, they were, they used to kill. My nanny used to have some, and they were killers, and we could never get her to pierce her ears. But these leads, so sorry, ugly, weren't they, as well? Look, Eb, I think I'm with you again. Cole, thank you so much. But Ebby, I do think I'm with you again. And I don't know whether she was correcting me the eye color and telling me they were hazel, because the hazel came in real quick. And so I have to place that as well. Oh, my goodness. It's always interesting, spirit always comes in. But that doesn't mean I don't have somebody for somebody else. But I do think I'm with Ebby again. Time is of the essence. Ebby, if she's not in her 90s, what happened? What's the 90? The 93, 94. There's a connection there. It might be 1994, 1993. Did she pass those years? I don't know what it is, but she does look like well lived in, is the words I'm going to use. She does look well lived in. So that's the way that she's presenting to me. She's got a beautiful long neck as well. Like, just if I take her right back to the 1920s, she would have been stunning. Like, the epitome of a perfect pin-up from the 1920s. That's how I see this beautiful lady. Absolutely gorgeous. The way that I'm putting forward. Have you, what I'm being shown, she's not in her 90s. It was her birthday 2 days ago. Okay, Eb, what I want to do then is I want you to have a look what happened for you, what happened for her around 1993, 1994. Or anything to do with the 93, 94. Was it the number of a house? Was it the number of a street? Like, there's something relevant there. Okay, so just please hold 93, 94. Hold it to the back and just, I know that it's going to come forward. Okay. I can see that side by side. Okay, so she's not laying with on her own, if that makes sense. Okay, I know that there's either 2 or 3 other people that are with her. Okay, that's what I'm being told. 2 or 3 other people with her. Thanks, Joe. Could be her age now if she was still alive. Didn't think of that, but thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that information. But yeah, it's definitely 93, 94, something coming in around those dates. Now, I keep being drawn to her throat as well. So I don't know whether she had troubles with her throat, or somebody has or is having troubles with her throat at the moment, but she's pointing here. Okay, so she's pointing to me here. Now, it could be a tracheotomy. It could be, look, I know that, it sounds quite broad, but, in the grand scheme of things, it actually not, because she's pointing here. So I know that there's something here with the throat that's relevant. Okay, Eb, so I have to pass that across to you, something relevant with the throat here. Okay. Now, what else can I get for you. She's showing me the packing up or the moving of things. Now, shifting places, shifting state. She's showing me going through things, like rummaging through things or going through things. So I can see that, that's going through. She's digging in something. I don't know what it is. You know what she's showing me, Abby? You know our grandmas, how they used to love cooking in the kitchen, and they used to have those old beaters that, those old beaters. There must be some of her kitchen appliances that either you've still got, or your mum's still got, somebody's still got these kitchen appliances. Okay, so she's acknowledging the kitchen appliances and baking and cooking and things like that. She's saying she misses all that, but I know that there's somewhere, like somebody's either come across one of her cooking utensils or cooking appliances, but she's really chuffed that it's still there and someone still has it. It could be a silver spoon. I just know it's something to do with cooking. It's something along those lines. Emphysema. That's what that is. Because she's just pointing here, like, there's something with this area here, which is the bronchioles. Perfect. Okay. Now, she's taken her wedding ring off and she's handing it over. Okay. I know that means something for you. Taking the wedding ring off and handing it over. Okay. So she's taking it off and she's handing it over. So that's relevant as well. Let me grab a message so that I can get to some other guys before I decide to jump off. Now her message is, center yourself is what she's actually saying. There must be something to do with a lemon tree or a tree or something. What am I doing? It's a tree or a piece of wood or something off a tree. What is this? She's showing me lots of memories as I'm asking to work with her, memories of her childhood, memories of growing up rural, memories of travel as well. She's showing me, a connection to somebody, looks like an Air Force hat, an Air Force cap. I don't know what you call them. But it's something to do with an Air Force cap. But she's showing me traveling. So I don't know whether her dad was in the Air Force and they traveled a little bit, or there's an Air Force connection. Brother, thanks. Okay, so she must have had a brother, or there's a brother that was connected to the Air Force, is what she's actually saying. Just as a little bit more evidence if we haven't got enough. But beautiful grandma is just wanting to, just to embrace you. She is aware that there's been a few up and downs. She's saying, get out of your head, my love. Get out of your head. You're its worst enemy. Okay. Sometimes that inner talk and that self-evaluation or disvaluation is the worst of its kind. We are the hardest on ourselves. And, when you're dealing with things like mental health, and, you all know I'm a huge advocate for mental health because I'm as actually crazy as batshit myself. But, we are our worst enemies. And, when we start to listen and believe in that self-doubt and inner turmoil, then it does reflect on our external way of living. And what she's saying is, don't listen. Don't listen. Don't second guess yourself. Don't double guess yourself. Second guess, double guess. Don't even listen to yourself half the time. She's saying because it's the fear of your self-worth that is holding you back. So I'm going to leave that with you, Ebs. She's beautiful. Thank you so much for letting me work with your family, because they are really cute. And, I hope to catch up with you soon. Love you loads. All right. Hey, Jules. How you going? Oh, my God, I've run out of water. Isn't that bad? I have to drink Coca-Cola. Oh, well. Carrie Fisher could do it, so could I. Thanks, Jess. Isn't it great to be able to work with spirit? I have missed it. But I have to tell you something really funny. When I'm working, because I do work in the morgue as well, not in the mortuary, not so much the morgue. And a couple of times I've had loved ones and I hear as clear as I'm talking to you guys, can you ask them for my rosary beads? And then I'm like, oh, okay. Have you thought about mum's rosary beads. Oh shit, we forgot all about them. Another guy said to me, and he was in spirit, said to me, what about my football flag? So I still do talk to them, which is really amazing, because, you know, they let me know how their hair wants to be. They let me know if they want their nails, you know, painted. They let me know all of these things. And it's, you know, it's such, I love my job, you know, and it's taken, you know, 51 years for me to really be at peace with what I'm doing. And, you know, it's unorthodox for some, and some people think, how the hell can you do that? But, you know, I've always been huge on anatomy and physiology, and I've been a beauty therapist since my early 20s. You know, I'm a qualified barber, as you all know, so it all just like blended in, and there I is. All right. Hi, April. I have to drink Coke now. I ran out of water. I love my job. Amazing. Yeah, look, I think, you know, there's a lot to be said about grief. Hi, Alexandra, how are you? Cheryl, I've been thinking about you today. I'll have to bring Simon up to your shop to say hello. He's actually visiting with his auntie Emily at the moment, and but I will grab him back when I can get up there, and you know, make a trip up your way. So for anybody living in God, Cheryl, where are you guys? Up that way. I can't think of it. I have total brain fart. Cheryl. My sister did wee embalming. Thank you, Cheryl. Yarrawonga. The guys are up in Yarrawonga. I just renamed your town, Cheryl. Your sister did embalming. I don't know what that means. My sister did wee embalming. I'm no good. What's the whistle? Oh, my flatmate's got washing on in the washing machine. Yeah, I miss you too, Tam. We do need to do that. I was going to message you today and actually just let you know that I am still alive. But yeah, I am still alive. I used to live in Yarrawonga. Well, there you go. All right, so let me see what else I can get here. Oh, your sister did embalming. Speaking of the devil, there it is. I was just talking to Di about bringing Simon up to Cheryl's shop for a weekend at some stage when I can actually get up there. It's so hard, you know, when you're working in a full-time job, and you know you've got the mediumship as well as to actually try and get out there and, you know, socially be, you know, a social panda. But yeah, apologies that I haven't been able to, and apologies for my washing machine that's really noisy. I have to stay with you. All right, shall we work with spirit? You accidentally, Michelle, let me tell you something, my love. Nothing ever happens by accident. I can assure you that. I have said so many times in my life, oh, it was an accident, but it actually isn't. It's the universe saying, this is intentional and this is where you need to be. Are you doing questions tonight? I can do questions a bit later, but I do have a few spirits that I want to work with tonight. So Sammy, if you just hold your horses, I'll grab another spirit and then we can maybe answer a few questions. You have to, David, I have to be up at 5:20 for work sometimes too. All right, let's see what we've got. Now, this is one of my favorite birds. I'm a huge bird person as well. Any animals, actually. Oh, by the way, did I tell you guys I have a new Maine Coon baby? Ariana has a sister, Alexandra, named after our beautiful Queen Elizabeth. So we have Ariana Victoria after Queen Victoria and Alexandra Elizabeth after beautiful Queen Elizabeth. And this Maine Coon is a monster. Like, she has got more balls on her than a billiard table. She gives Ari what for. And if ever we thought that Ariana had issues, this cat likes to be higher, loves to run faster, and just has no fear whatsoever. So at some stage, I will introduce you to her when she settles down a bit. The other day, I was doing something and she stood on my computer and deleted everything. So, yeah, Ari just likes to add things. Alex, well, she likes to delete things. But anyway, hi, Lily. How are you? We need to catch up. Yeah, she is super cute. She is a half sister of Ari, 3 years apart from a different litter, but the same dad. Same dad, different mum, 3 years apart, which is nice. She looks her coloring's a bit more like her dad, a bit more ginger. But anyway, let's get back into spirit. And straight away, I have the name Thomas John. Okay, Thomas John. I love their names too. You know, they're two. I'm a huge royalist, as you know. You know, it absolutely broke my heart when Queen Elizabeth passed away. I actually have a tattoo of her on my leg with Paddington Bear. Yeah, she deserved to be remembered. But I don't know whether this kid is more like, I don't know, a Fergie. And I love Fergie, but yeah, she's a different level. I'm going through difficult times at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Shota. So much is happening at the moment. It is. Lily, let's schedule that for we'll get Kylie and schedule that. I haven't seen you since Joan's funeral, which is a while now. God, that's gone quick. All right, so Thomas John. Can anybody place the name Thomas John? Okay, because this is his name and this is what he's telling me, or this is the name Thomas John. Somebody, or we can separate the name Thomas and John if you want, but I feel like I have to put them together. So maybe your reading spirit at the moment, very interesting. Oh, I read that. I just want to smack him. I don't. I agree with a lot of what he says, but I don't think it's been done in the right way. But that's a kettle of fish we'll open up for another day. So anyway, Thomas John, I've got coming through now. I don't think this spirit is very old. Okay, and by very old, I want to put him in his 40s, 41, 42, 43. I want to put this gentleman there, Thomas John. I don't know whether he's got brothers called Thomas and John or whether he's Thomas John, but I have to put him there. This gentleman passed over. Yeah, he's only young. So much more to live is what he's saying. Would have had dark hair, solid build. You know, he looks like a tradie actually, because I feel like, you know, I'm having a look at skin that's quite tanned. It's been exposed to the sun. If that makes sense. I can't see any ring on him, but I can definitely see that. He's got like a polo shirt on, you know, just a polo shirt, pair of jeans and sneakers. That's what he would have worn, like polo shirt, runners, and a pair of jeans. He's rattling keys, so it's something to do. I don't know whether maybe it's a car accident he's passed in, but he's showing me keys and he's rattling the keys in front of me. So can anybody place a gentleman with the name connection? I'll get to you in a minute, Jode. I can see your message. Thank you. So can anybody place that a gentleman by the name of Thomas or John or Thomas John may have passed in a car accident because I'm being shown car keys. Okay, so I have to bring that forward. He's got dark hair. There's a bit of wave to his hair, and it's kind of really shiny. So I don't know whether he's got a pomade product in it, or I'm not quite sure. But he does have beautiful dark hair. He looks a little bit Greek, actually, or sort of like dark tan complexion. And I don't know whether that's just he have the dark hair and works outside. I'm not quite sure, but his energy feels like like a tradie, but more than a tradie, if that makes sense. So I don't know whether he's a builder or whether he works outside, but that's the feel that I get from him as he's sort of like stepping forward. Dark eyes, dark complexion. Okay. He does have a what do you call it? A white mark where a wedding ring would have been. So I'm going to say he may have been divorced or separated at the time of his passing, because what was there is not there anymore. Okay, or it's been divorced through passing. I'm not quite sure. But I can see the white mark where the wedding band's been taken off. He's showing me like that. But where is my wedding band is what he's saying. So let me refract that. Somebody has his wedding band. So I don't know whether somebody took it off him at the time of passing or asked the funeral home to take that off. But he's kind of looking like where is it, if that makes sense? Like, where's my ring? He's a little bit concerned about it. He's taken me back to when he was younger, talking about long hair. So he, if we go back through the ages, in his 20s, he may have had long hair or longer hair than what I'm actually seeing at the moment with him. The name, what is that name? It's like a Rosa. Rose name, Rosa, Mum. Okay, does anybody know this person? A gentleman, Thomas or John, a Rose or Rose connection, Rosa, Rosalie. I'm showing a Rose, but I want to put it with a name. Okay. And Sophie, there's a Sophie name that's coming in as well. Can anybody place any of these? Anybody? There's a motorcycle connected here as well. It's red. So you're being really clear about it. It's red. It's not a cruiser, but it is a motorcycle, if that makes sense. Not a cruiser, but it is a motorcycle. And there's a flag attached here as well. So I don't know whether he was a member of a club or something like that, but no, that Belinda, look, he'll definitely come through. Sometimes, they just have to keep going with the information until we can actually. Sorry, I just got to move my bum. It's gone numb. Yeah, like it's a caddy. Yeah. Rachel, you have a Thomas John. Fantastic. And is that his name, like put together, Rachel? Like put together? Like his name is Thomas John? Because he's come forward and he says, my name, like I have to put the both together, Thomas John. Oh, shit. Okay. Rach, after me just talking about the Queen and talking about the cats, my ears have really pricked up with you. Okay. Rach, look. Could you tell me without you feel this going towards? All right, Rachel, I think this is him, because he said my name is Thomas John. And look, very rarely will I get two names right. I struggle to get one name right, guys. You know that. But, very clearly, very specific. We've just spoken about the Queens. And, it all has to be relevant, because when we start to talk about something, usually it's that spirit's influence of coming in there. So, Rach, I'm going to go with you, okay, because I do think I have Thomas John. And I know that he's got dark hair, and it's really funny because I'm sitting there saying, this guy looks like he's dressed in a tradesman's outfit and stuff like that. But that, I'm going to say, is his way of showing me the modern interpretation of what he would have been doing, or his purpose, if that makes sense. So when you're looking at a tradie, they do everything, and there must have been an element of what he did do during that time, like a man of many trades, if that makes sense. And you're saying he's a warrior, but hang on, I've got to get my flatmates to shut up. Hang on 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Anyway, sorry. Where are we at? Just read your messages, Rach. He led the people who took out Napoleon. That is so cool. Well, I guess we're talking about tradies. No, actually. All right. So, look, I'm going to go over the things that I've got, Rach, with him, because the name is definitely there. So we know we've got that. We've been talking about the Queen, so we know that we've got that. Now, can you place a gentleman as well, connected in your family, that would have passed in a car accident? Okay, because I know that it's really relevant here. Dana, can you stop her, please? Oh, in the Great Fires of London. That's so sad. Rach, I need to bring him. He's got somebody with him that passed in a car accident. Who is that tradie person? But I know that your Thomas John is also a man of many trades. So you're saying that he led in Napoleon, but he wasn't just that. I don't know whether you have or can get any more records about what he actually did. But, quite often prior to going into war and prior to being employed in a war situation, they did have other trades, and they were sort of pulled out of those trades to I guess stand up and do things. But I know that there's a craft or something associated with him. He was more than just that, is what I'm being told. Okay, the number 3 is coming up, and I want to say the 3rd. Okay, so I don't know whether that's his name carries through as a 3rd, like Thomas John the 3rd, Thomas John the 2nd, Thomas John. I don't know what's the 3 connection, but I have to say there's a 3 connection there. Whether it's it's more than 3 generations back, but there's something there as well that I have to place. But if I might have 2 spirits, because I can still see these guys sitting here. And I know that he passed in a car accident, so just let me separate them for a minute. Sorry, it's a bit messy, guys. Did tell you I was a bit rusty. All right, Thomas, what do you need to know? Okay. All right. Hi, Chris. How you going, beautiful? Rach, what I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna show you what a couple of things from Thomas he wants you to see, and then he has a message that's really relevant to you. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you is a family Bible. So I don't know whether there is a family Bible or there's a family book of records, okay, where back in the old days in England, everybody had a family Bible that was handed out through generation and generation and generation. So I know that, there's something there because I'm being seeing a book. He's showing me, he's handing me his big book. He's like, thump, here, Bec, have a look at this. And it's got all the names in it. So I know that there's a family Bible or a family book that's connected here, Rach, that is still in the family because he's talking about that. And that holds the generations and holds the information, if that makes sense. And it feels a bit more than just a family tree. It feels like a physical relic that's still here. So he's showing me that, and he's saying, here, pass that across to her. The other thing also too is a sapphire brooch. So I have to talk about a sapphire brooch or a sapphire pin that's relevant as well. So he's saying, please pass these things across to her, and you will find where they sit. But he's wanting to pass these across as well. So a sapphire brooch or a sapphire pin. I want to go to the brooch more than anything, but it's something with it's sapphire in it. So I have to place that, and he's handing that across to you. And the message he's saying is, don't try and cover things up. He's saying, sometimes, and this is a message that's quite personal to you, but he's saying, don't cover things up. He said, stop trying to cover things up. Oh my God, how funny is that? So he's saying, stop trying to cover things up. And he's just saying, sometimes when you let things expose themselves, the best outcome is what comes forward. That's the message that he's passing across. So I'm not quite sure what you've been trying to hide up or what you've been trying to keep within or keeping close, but he's saying, you've just got to let it go. And I'm going to tell you the gory way that he's showing me this, because if you knew what was in my head, sometimes you'd just go back. You really, really, really would have been put away. So basically what he's showing me is a person lying in a bed and blood, and they're wearing like a white cloak, and blood is seeping through the cloak. Okay. And he's saying, you've got to let it seep through. Now, I don't know what relevance that is to you, Rachel, but he's like, you've got to let it seep through. You've got to let it be revealed. You've got to let it just take its natural course and come to the surface. Okay. But yeah, he's definitely handing that sapphire brooch across to you, which makes me giggle. So if you have a really good win, I'll give you my address, Rach, because I love sapphires. It's really funny because Camilla's just won the Queen Victoria sapphire, which was given to her from Albert on the day before they were married, which is beautiful. But anyway, so that's the message for you, Jess, from that beautiful spirit. And thank you for allowing me to blend with him. If you have pictures, again, I would love to see him. He's really beautiful. Now, just quickly, I need to bring this other spirit forward. He's wearing a red top or look, it's something about seeping through. I don't know if there's a water relation or something flooding or something, right? But it's got to seep through. So, red has to seep through. Don't know what that means, but let's go with the physical. Red blood coming through white. Don't know what it means, but that's the way that I've read it. That's the way he's told me, is that you've just got to stop hiding it or stop covering it up and just let it come through naturally. Let's have a look here. Okay, so right, I'm going to go with a Roy or a Rodney with this gentleman that I've got. Roy or Rodney, okay. Roy or Rodney. I can see your messages, Joe. Just hang on a second, please. Roy or Rodney. This gentleman passed in a car accident. He was in his 40s, be it 42, 43 car accident, or there's something car. If he didn't pass in the car accident, there's something to do with keys, because he's showing me his keys. Okay, so I know that there's something definitely about that, and it's a sudden passing as well. Okay, so I'm going to go with what what spirit is showing me, what my guides are showing me. This gentleman passed in a car accident. He would have been comfortable in just t-shirts or polo shirts. Might have worn a polo shirt at work. just polo shirt, jeans, and shorts. But Rodney, or Ray, okay, these are the names that I'm getting with this gentleman. He's talking about his sister, okay? So I don't know whether anybody here has a brother that's passed over, but he's talking about his sister, okay? And wanting to talk to his sister, or wanting to get a message to his sister. So I know that is really, really relevant. Lucy Lou is what I'm being told, Lucy Lou. So is there a Lucy? Lucy, Lucille, anybody got that name, Lucy? Can anybody place that, please? As we start to talk to him, he's tanned. He would have worked outside. He would have loved working outside. Okay. It's almost like he's been struck down in the prime of his life. Okay. He's showing me a young son as well. So I don't know whether he had a young son or whether he always thinks of his son as a younger person. But he's showing me that there would have been an offspring. And he's talking about Nana being there as well. Nana's here. He would have had a necklace around his neck as well, that he would have worn. Just something plain, nothing any major or wrapper or anything like that. It's just a plain chain that he's got. My young friend died last year. One sister, girlfriend named Lucy. Oh, thank you. Joe, was he in his 40s? From a car accident? Or the keys. Someone has his keys. He's showing me the keys, Joe. There's some pretty good. He was 23. Okay. Not 40, but a car accident. All right. So, Joe, you can take the gentleman that passed in the car accident. He has a sister and a girlfriend named Lucy. Passed in the car accident, hit and run, and the driver may have been around 40. Okay. And would he have worn like polo shirts and jeans and shoes? Like, is that his dress code? That's what I'm seeing him dressed in. Like, I'm getting the way that he's talking to me is that he did do trade work as well. I know that Thomas John did, man of many trades, and this gentleman is telling me also that he was very tradey. Could fix anything, could do anything. And red work shirt. God, I saw red. I thought it was a red I was going to say, did he wear a red polo shirt? And then I sort of thought to myself, who on earth would wear a red polo shirt? Because that would be horrible. It would remind me like a McDonald's shirt or something like that. But yeah, any funny. All right, Joe. Definitely. I'm a reading electrician. Wow, that's pretty cool. And a child. Is there a boy associated with him? I want to acknowledge a child with him. Okay, or he's wanting to acknowledge a child with him. He's wanting to acknowledge. Moving on. He's wanting. Oh, you did. You sent me some pictures. Where did you send them? Oh, wow, that's cool. I have to show you this. So this is the guy. Rachel, hang on. This is the guy we were just talking to. Thomas John, check him out. Isn't he a handsome fellow? I bet that's a wig. That's a wig. That's not his hair. No young kids. Okay. All right. Joe, he's acknowledging a young boy. Okay. So somewhere, okay, there's a young boy, okay, whether he's had a brother that's passed into spirit, that's something that you guys, I'm going to pass across, but he's acknowledging a young child, a young boy. I'm going to put this boy age 4, age 3.5, age 4, 5, somewhere there. But, I want to put him, below that age limit, if that makes sense. Like, he's not a teenager or anything like that. He's a younger child. I have to acknowledge that, and bring him forward. This gentleman is really beautiful. He's got something around his wrist. I don't know whether he wore like a wrist cuff or a watch with a really thick band on it. But you know, it's really something. It's really cool. Okay, all right, so hang on for 2 seconds. Guys, just give me 2 seconds. Guys, can you shut up, please? I want to tell you. Listen, I'm watching live on Facebook, and all my clients are doing YouTube arguing. So take it outside. They're not there. I'm trying to work. Take it outside. Have a bit of respect. I've told you 3 times tonight I'm working. All right? Take it outside. My clients don't need to hear it. Grace, I will keep your arms out. My clients don't need to hear shit. Okay? I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. Because you aren't hearing. I'm just saying take it outside. Okay? Because all my clients across Facebook can hear you guys. Right. I'm so sorry. I have flatmates that like to argue, and just does my head in sometimes. But anyway, let me just go back a bit. Where are we? Okay, so Rach, I got your pictures. I'm going to hang on to them because that's so cool. Did he have a nephew? Look, I'm not quite sure. All I know is that there's a small child with him, and I know that this child's in spirit with him. He's acknowledging the child in spirit because he's putting his hand down and he's saying he's right here, right next to me. So I know that there's somebody there in spirit with him. Whether it's a brother that's passed over early, but 3 or 4, I have to acknowledge that. Okay. Tell him. I did tell him. Sounds like me as a mum at work too. Seriously, how do my head in? Look, it does. It has become a problem, and when I'm trying to rectify, but I've told them 3 times today that I'm working tonight, but over the head. But let's not focus on them. I've told them. They're quiet now, so that's great. Mum, you just missed the best. I just had to discipline the children, the human ones. All right, so we've got the gentleman in the red shirt. We know who he is. We know that he passed in a car accident. We know his girlfriend's name. We got all of that from him, and that is absolutely beautiful. There's a rural setting connected to him as well. Okay, there's a rural setting, so I feel like I'm going past trees. I feel like I'm, looking at open spaces. So I have to acknowledge that he's a very open spaced kind of guy, which is beautiful. Okay, and he just wants me to let you know he's free. Okay, so there's a freedom and an essence of being set free. Somewhere connected to him also is I don't know whether it was him himself or somebody near and around that would have been stumbling. I'm going to use the word stumbling with addiction. Okay, loves camping. Thanks, Joe. Addiction, and there's a Staffy dog. Okay, there's a Staffy dog. I have a beautiful American Staffy named Dixie. You've all seen her at some stage, but there's a Staffy dog connected to him as well. So I don't know whether you guys can place that. Yeah, you can place a Staffy. Oh, yay! I love it when they're so clear. My brother's death date is today. Can I please have a message? Okay, so I'm just going to hold you there. I'm in the middle of a reading, my love. Oh, it's Diesel. Oh, loves that dog, really loves that dog. So just wants to pass that across. And he's showing me a tattoo as well. Does that make sense? The tattoo on the arm, because he's doing this and he's showing me. So somebody has a tattoo here. I don't know whether it's a memorial tattoo for him, or he had a memorial. I'm going to go with what I said. There's a tattoo here. Somebody's got a memorial tattoo. Anyway, he's just coming through. Just wanting to let you know that he's there. Wanting to just explain what happened, giving you some evidence that he's with you, he's there's so much that he had planned. There's so many things. He really had so much for him and Lucy that he wanted to go forward with, and he's sorry about that. There is a deep sadness, and I'm not going to say regret, but there is a deep sadness that's sort of like sitting there for him. Okay, now I don't know whether the name Kyle or Kevin and Kyle connects to this young person as well, Kevin or Kyle, or I'm seeing the letter K, that is coming in here as well. So I have to place that there also. Is there a name coming through? I can only give all the names that they pass across. Okay. Kyle, Kevin, Kyle, is it a Kylie? Kylie. I think I want to place a Kylie in there rather than a Kylie. Also, too, that there's a John name that's coming in. I know they had with Thomas John before, but there's a John name coming in a few generations back. So I don't know whether we're dad dealing with or whether we're dealing with granddad John. Okay, but I have to place that there. But Joe, he's here. Could you please let his family know that he's where he needs to be, and please pass on all his love to the people that he's left behind. And he's really supportive of journeys moving forward. But he does have, I guess, so much more he wished he could have done with his life. But, when you're called, you're called. And he just wants everybody to find peace. So I'm going to leave that one there. Just, let me know, guys, if we can affirm some of this evidence that's come forward. Joe, the John sits back, okay? It's either an Uncle John or a... It sits back. It sits back. There's something there. John with cancer. There you go. John with cancer. So there must be a John that's connected to cancer. He's wanting to acknowledge as well. I'm still stoked about Thomas John. No, I knew you were going to say your brother. No, Mum, it's to do with this guy. The man in the red shirt. I swear I saw that red shirt and I thought, who in their right mind would casually wear something that looks like a McDonald's uniform? So bad. But it's definitely there. All right, now answer some questions. Let's have a look here. Good night, Towel. I love you if you're listening. You'll send me his photo. Oh, thank you. I would love to do that. What I might start doing, guys, is when I come back is, when I've placed somebody and you can place them, if we can get permission off the families to pop the pictures up of the loved ones that we've actually described, because people do actually go back and listen to the banters, and it's always nice when they can actually see that the person that I'm talking to was actually a living person. So it's really cool. Thomas John, yeah, I think I'm going to remember him. All right, let me have a look. Now, okay, I'm going to draw the line across here, guys, just for a second. And if you've had a question, can you please re-ask the question now? Because I don't want to go back and scroll through 45 messages, okay? It's just too hard for me to be able to do that. So if you can just ask your question again. I sent you a PM of his photo in the red shirt. Joe, can I share that? Let me have a look. Where did you send it? Oh, in there. Oh my goodness. All right, Joe, can I share it? I'm going to share it. Here he is. This is who we've just been speaking to, him in his red shirt. His red polo shirt. That's crazy. Oh, bless his heart. What a shame. All right, let's have a look here. What? I've just put my computer on. Wait. Okay, let's go. I have a serious dog issue. Looking for guidance or advice, making me really unwell and stressed, affecting my sleep. Okay, Sammy, I need a little bit more information with that. Is it your dog or somebody else's dog? Okay. I have been told that I have a young male to my right and an elderly woman to my left. Look, Jody, I would say yes. I would say yes to that, because we always have our ancestors or loved ones that have passed over standing behind us. Okay, now, just to explain to you the way that things work is that some mediums, in the way that they teach the development, will actually tell you, that, one side is your father's ancestry side and the other side is your mother's ancestry side. And depending upon which side you see that loved one standing is which way, is where the relative actually stands. Now, I don't work that way. I've always been confused by that way myself because, I've had very limited formal training. I know you find probably that hard to believe, but I haven't really had that much formal training with my mediumship. But those who, do sit circle on a regular basis, and those who have applied themselves to, psychic development education over the years, will have that formal view that, on the left sits mum's side, on the right sits dad's side, or vice versa. And so, yes, you would have an elderly woman, that being your grandmother, great grandmother. Sometimes it's your mum, sitting on that side. Depends how close to you they've seen it. I would have been asking them for more information. And on the other side, what are you saying? A young male. Well, that could have been anybody. It could have been, a cousin that's passed away. It could have been somebody in your somewhere in your ancestry lineage. But yes, we always have loved ones that stand behind us. And it's just a matter of figuring out who they are, but they are certainly always with us. And it would just be a matter of just tapping into your own psychic abilities, and or going back to that person who said those things and said, look, can you tell me a little bit more information? Is it mum's side? Is it dad's side? Is it, and ask them, if somebody says something to you and you're not clear about it, always ask. When you go to a medium and you're paying good money. I mean, our fees aren't cheap anymore. Our skills are, a lot of people are highly evolved in their connection to spirit. Our fees are, up around the $200 mark on average now for a reading. And, you do have the right to say, hey, can I have a bit more information? And if they've got the connection to that spirit, they should be able to give you that information to be able to help you along and let you know who that person actually is. And, they may not have a message, but, to sit there and say, well, you've got this person here and you've got this person. Well, I said, I could tell you anything and you would know the difference. But yes, we do have our loved ones standing behind us. Has Gary been gone 10 months? Goodness me. Yeah, look, Jody, that's exactly what I'm thinking. It'd be one of your nans, and then you just got to think, well, who's the younger person that's passed over? But you've got a right to actually, ask. You've got the right, Sammy, I need more information on your dog. Okay. Heather, I'm waking up at 5 every morning. Okay. She bit somebody. Okay. Sam, you're going to have to PM me on that one rather than discuss it on here. Because, it's too many messages. So just private message me and I'll see what I can do. So I'm not ignoring you. I just don't think it's the forum for that type of assistance. But if I can help you out, then just private message me and we'll work through something there. I'm not sure I'm going to wake up at 5 every morning. Look, I do know that the birds wake up around about that time every morning because they're in tune to the Earth's harmonics, if that makes sense. And so, a certain pitch, I can't remember the name of it, gets released at around about that time. And of course, then all the birds start chirping. They always say up with the birds. And it is because of that vibration. And I don't know whether it's an Acadia rhythm or something along those lines, but it does wake us up. I don't think it means anything directly. I think that, it's just probably a natural time that, your sleep is probably at its lightest. I would expect you go back to sleep again if you allowed yourself to, but just go with it. It might mean that you just go to bed a little bit later to get past that 5 a.m. so you're not so, awake at that time. Just try a number of things, but I do think that you're just highly, tuned in, highly empath. You're aware of what's near and around you and just in tune with everything. On a full moon, it's like hell for me. I hear absolutely everything and get no sleep. So I do feel it's more along those lines. Don't drink water. I could be funny and say don't drink water and have a pee at 5 a.m. But I think it's more that you just, really in tune to the Earth's harmonics, and it's that's waking you up at around about that time. Jess, you do mediumship. You will probably find that somewhere in your family background, the same thing was done by either your grandmother or great-grandmother. It wasn't spoken of, okay? It's just fear, all right? The easiest way to dissolve fear is through education. And, you don't have to shove it down your dad's throat. You don't even have to, he doesn't even have to accept it. But he has to support you, okay? And that's the way that I would be approaching it, just by saying, look, Dad, I don't expect you to understand it, but you just need to support me as your daughter, okay? I could be really technical and just laid on the line that, a lot of Orthodox religions come from a pagan background, that was covered up. However, you don't want to rattle people's belief systems because that's not fair. And I would just be sort of saying to him, like, Dad, I love you. I always support what you believe in, and you're entitled to that. And I don't judge you in any way, shape, or form. You know, we don't know how my grandmother would feel because she's not here, and her being disgusted is your opinion, not hers. So, you know, I don't think it's fair that you say that when she's not here to defend herself. But just say it like that, you know. I support you, you support me. We don't have to understand each other, but we love each other. So that's how I'd be dealing with that one. 10 minutes. While I'm on, guys, I just want to I am still doing private readings, okay? I don't do as many days as I used to because of my commitment to other areas, but I still do private readings, and you still can book in with me through a private reading. Easiest way at the moment is to book in through Facebook because my website is still screwy, and there's a few problems going on there. So at the moment, if you want a reading with me, just book in through Facebook and I'll get back to you with a time. Do you want me to FaceTime you when I'm at Rob Roy's grave? Yes, Lendl, of course. That would be so cool. Oh my God, I cannot wait to go to Scotland. Seriously, I'm sure my blood runs blue and white. When are you going there? Are you taking Mum? Oh, I'm so jealous. Rob Roy, what a legend. I have to tell you something funny. I think I've spoken about this before. Summer, I can see your messages, but I'm not doing any mediumship at this moment, okay? I've done the mediumship for tonight. I'm just focusing on answering people's questions. But there's always another time, okay? There's always another time. You've been a statue. Oh, Sheridan, you can go as well. But I have to tell you this funny. Oh my God, you're all going. Where's my ticket? Oh, I forgot what I was going to tell you. A brain fart. Don't you just love that? It was something to do with Scotland. Rach, I'm so excited. I'm going to research the hell out of him now. Research the hell out of it. Summer, I am going to give you a quick guidance, okay? Your brother is always with you. I want you to look for the song that meant something to him, okay? I want you to listen to that because it will come on the radio. It'll come somewhere near and around you this week. That's just a quick message from Spirit, not your brother, but Spirit, just to let you know that he's near and around you. So there must have been something that was either played at his funeral or private song or something to do with music that's relevant to him. And it's a message just to let you know that he's okay and that he's near and around. Tanya. 1, 2, skip through. Tanya, what I'm hearing is the third one down. So there'll be 2 meetings and the third one will be one of content. Okay. So it might be 2 dates and then you meet somebody of interest, something along those lines. But it's like 1, 2, it's like 1 and then miss, a couple and then 1, if that makes sense. I can't remember what it was. It was something funny. Can't remember. Linda, I can't remember. It's totally brain farted. I'll keep thinking as I'm scrolling. I hate it when I can't answer all your questions, but I am seeing them and I do hold space. So I just want you to know that, I'm sending out some healing for you. Can't believe you're going to Scotland. Oh. All right, I think that's a lot of Summer's messages. Are there any messages from my dad, please? Do you know what, guys? Yeah, it is a brain fart. I'm going to pick up Summer's message because there's about 40 messages from here for her. So just give me a minute, Summer, to connect and see if I can grab him for you. And I'm trying to think of that message for Janine as well. I can't remember what it was. It was something really stupid. Typical Bec dumbass. I can't remember what it was. I have to show you, right? So my family come from Iona in Scotland. And years and years ago, when I was working, not that I still don't work, but when I first started working with the crystal skull known as Synergy from Arizona, the caretaker, Sherry, took the skull to a little island just off the coast of Scotland called Iona. And I was always talking about puffins, and I don't know if you guys have seen puffins, but these are puffins, right? And I love these birds for my own personal reasons, but I love these birds. And they were always going on about Iona. And then my dad gave me our family heritage or family history. And my great-great-great-grandparents were married on the island of Iona, and my entire family history comes from the island of Iona. So bloody weird, but 3 degrees of separation. And I have had to find it the other day, but where is he? I think it's here he is. My little Iona puffin with the map of Iona on my arm. I had that tattooed on. But I got to tell you something so cool. I have to show you this, right? The other day, I walked into our op shop, was going for a job interview, walked into this op shop, and guess what I find? A bloody puffin. Like, what are the chances of that, right? This dude was coming home with me, so I just had to share that. It's a Scottish thing from my owner. But anyway, they are so cute, aren't they? And for those of you that have seen Star Wars, the last last ones with Carrie Fisher in it, the little guy, the little bird things, I can't remember what they're called. They're based on puffins, so it's really cool. And yeah, I can't wait. It's that and Dollywood are probably the biggest things on my to-do list before I croak it. So. I really can't wait to go. I always say, I thank God Dolly is so preserved with Botox and shit, because by the time I get to see her, ordinarily she probably would have been dead 20 years before. But hopefully we'll get there one day soon. Anyway, all right, focus. Don't you love ADD? God, I don't know how you guys cope with me. I can't even cope with myself. Summer, I'm so sorry to hear that about your brother. I love Lewis. That's cool. Just correct me if I'm wrong, all right? When you have a heritage from Scotland, you can't shake it, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, guys. But if you've got as much Scottish blood in you as I have, I just cannot. You can't shake it. It's like it doesn't matter whether you're born in this country or what. You are Scottish. Your heart's Scottish. Your soul is Scottish. It's weird. It's like you come from there, and it can be the smallest drop of Scottish blood. I mean, mine's over 50%, but if you're from that region, it's such a pure heritage, and it just runs through you. Sherida, do you agree? I mean, you're born there, but it's weird. I can't explain it. My brother's exactly the same. His tattoos that he's got is all of our clans from our Irish, because I'm half Irish as well, is our Irish clans and the Scottish clans, and he's got it tattooed all over him. Celtic bloodline is so strong. It's just so strong. And it's like people say, you're Australian. I'm like, nah. I always tell them I was born here by default. Mum's probably pissing herself laughing, but yeah, it's I've never felt, and I don't mean disrespect to Australia in any way, shape, or form. It's a beautiful country that we live in. But when you step foot on that homeland, it's like, I'm home. Your soul stops running and it's peaceful, and you know that you've come home. It's weird. I can't explain it. Mum, I don't know whether you felt that way in Italy, but whenever I go back to the UK, it's home. It's always been my home. And, yes, Australia's lovely and I live here, but that's not where my soul is from. Sometimes my words come out with a Scottish accent. It's a brobrecht minlich. Melissa, can you say that? It took me years to learn that. All right, let's have a look. Summer, where are you? See? Mum's Italian. See, okay, Summer, can I have you? I was going to ask for his name. Summer, can I have, because there's kind of stuffing around right now. I want to get to this. Can I have your brother's name, please? Now, usually I don't ask for names, but I'm a time limit now. I've got to finish this oracle, guys. It's just, do you know what I was saying to admin today? Every single card that I have in this oracle deck, Scotland. How funny, Summer. That's why we're talking about Scotland. You guys know that, or for those of you who don't know, I actually have an oracle card coming out, a barber oracle, barber surgeon oracle that's coming out that I've been working on for, crikey, it feels like forever. It's probably 6 years now. And having the ADD, it's just like pulling teeth. It's been such a struggle to get this to print stage. All the artwork is completed, and I'm just in the final stages of the booklet. And it's so hard to stay focused when you've got ADD. And I'm not kidding you. Like, I picked all of these cards and I picked what I wanted, or Spirit did. And I just thought, just please give me one card that doesn't have a history as long as the beginning of time. And I thought, you know what? Great. Enema. Like, seriously, enema. When you put stuff up your butt and then you clean out your bowels. Great. I'm going to knock this card off really quickly. Hell no. The enema begins with the beginning of time. The enema was first reported in some Egyptian manuscript. It was done by Africans. I've spent 3 days researching butt wash. Like, seriously. I just thought, one card, please just give me one card to quickly get this one done so that I can move on to the next. No. We have enemas with coffee in them. We've got enemas that are for food. We've got enemas that far out. Like, you've got no idea. So when you get my oracle deck, because you all have to buy it, and you come to the enema page, remember me telling you this. Shit happens. Like, holy moly. I'm not kidding you guys. Go do a Google search on the beginning of the enema. It goes forever. It's in Shakespeare. It's in Oliver's Travels. It's in literature. The enema is blah, 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 blah. There's coffee enemas. There's enemas done with peanut oil. Far out, I just thought, how hard, who's going to have a big topic on the enema? Basically, it's just washing out your colon. Nope. Major history. I thought the same with the apron. Boy, was I misunderstood there as well. So please, when you get my oracle deck, read the book, because it's taken me 6 years to write. Anyway, all right, I am going to focus. I'm going to get back to Summer. Okay, so his name is Scott. All right. Now, a little bit of sensitivity, trigger warning, guys. We have been told that Scott took his own life. Okay. Scott's a very gentle person, the way that I'm seeing him. Don't know whether he had blonde hair or light colored hair, but there's something to do with light hair. You'd rather take a laxative. A laxative is an enema. Trust me. Don't distract me. Shh. I need to do this reading, right? So Scott, I'm seeing him coming forward with light hair, okay? I'm seeing a child with almost white hair, actually, when he was born, okay, or younger. Little 2-year-old running around with really, really almost like white hair is what I'm actually seeing. So I don't know whether this is a memory from when he was younger. You know, he's got a very caring spirit, very loving spirit. You know, he's the first one to put a hand out to help people. You know, would pick up an injured bird or bring a cat home or something. Like he's very aware of. He's sensitive, okay. And a part of the reason why, if you're wanting to know why, is that, you know, sometimes people in this world can't cope with the energies. You know, it's a very, very hard place to live in when you're an empath, when you feel things, you know, when you feel beyond the physical feeling. You know, you feel people's emotions, you feel the hurt and the pain and the injustice. And this is him. Okay, this is him in a nutshell. Something happened, Summer. There's an injustice he's telling me happened with him that he could not lay peace with. Okay, he could not lay peace with. Now, I don't know whether there was abuse with him or something happened along those lines, but there's something that it's a demon that he couldn't get off his back, is what he's saying. A demon that he couldn't get off his back. You know, he's such a gentle person. You know, I don't know whether at some stage he questioned his sexuality, but he's almost got that generic gay gentleness about him. Not saying that he was, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he hadn't have questioned his you know, his sexuality at some stage. I just feel as if, you know, there's something that happened that he couldn't get off his back. You know, I was listening to a podcast last night on you're going to think, Jesus Christ, Bec, you're spastic. What is it? Exorcism. You know, I like to listen to all different types of shit as I'm trying to sleep. No wonder I don't get any sleep. But they talk about getting demons off your back. And I feel like that's what he had on his back, you know. And it wasn't about self-loathing. And it wasn't about laying blame. And it wasn't about anything like that. He just couldn't live with the weight of it, is what he's telling me. Couldn't live with the weight of it. I'm seeing a signet ring, Summer. Now, I don't know whether he wore a ring or whether there's a signet ring reference here connected. It does look like it's silver, but again, it's hard to see through the veil what color it actually is, but I'm going to go with silver, a silver ring. So I have to place that as well. So if his or he's showing me that it belonged to somebody else, but there's something about a ring that he's wanting to acknowledge. Okay, so I have to place that. Okay, and a nephew. Okay, so somebody will take one of his names and give that to a nephew. All right, so I don't know whether you have kids and you're going to name one of your kids after him with either his name or his middle name, but that's going to happen, or he's talking about that, or his name is taken from the middle name of somebody. But it's like, I want to take the middle name and give it to somebody else. That's the way that he's actually showing it to me. But he is, you know, he is a very, very, very gentle soul. There's bullying involved here as well. So I know that I have to place that, you know, especially through his teenage years. You know, there's a bit of bullying and a bit of having to stand up for himself, is the way that he's putting it. But he also stands up for other people. Okay, you know, he's always got time. I always had time. Let me use his words. I always had time to speak to somebody. You know, it was never beyond me to talk to an elderly or relate to a child. Everybody deserves that time. Everybody deserves that platform to be able to be heard. And it didn't matter how much he tried. What he had to say just couldn't be heard. And, you know, like a cancer eating from within, the only way that he could find peace, and he wants you to understand this, the only way I could find peace was to create peace. And that's his message for you, is he's peaceful. Everything's quiet. You know, the noise has stopped, and he's in a place of I guess solitude. There's nothing to be sorry for. Yes, that he sees the kids. They all see the kids. You know, we've spoke a bit about this on the Banter so many times. They're with us all the time. Our loved ones are always with us. They see what we do. They see how we work. They know what we think. You know, this physical, this physicality is just a vessel, and we are so much more than this flesh matter. You know, we're so much more than that, and time and space and everything. Our whole entire world is an illusion. And so, you know, they know all of what we know, what we think before we think it, because time is a slipstream. Space is a slipstream. Everything exists all at the same time. And that's why as mediums, we can, you know, get things from down the track or go back into the past and pull that forward, because it's a slide, if that makes sense. He knows, sweetheart. He knows you love him. There's nothing to be sorry about. And you know what? You were the best sister that you could be. And that's enough. So you got to stop blaming yourself, okay? And just, you know, with compassion and understanding, accept his decision and embrace, you know, the knowing that he's peaceful. And that's all he needs you to know. All right, my loves, I am going to leave it there. I didn't plan to go on this long, but it has been such a pleasure. We've had some really cool spirit evidence tonight, and you know, I'm really grateful for that. I'm always, you know, always really in awe of just what, just what evidence, you know, spirit passes across, you know, cross. I can't get the words out. Crosses to me. Summer, did your brother wear a plate in his mouth? Did he have plate, like a braces or a plate in his mouth? You show me a plate, like a plate that you put in your teeth. A plate. No? He had surgery on his lip. No, it's not that. Plate. I feel like there's something with the top of the mouth, like a plate, cleft plate, cleft. I don't know what it is. There's something with a plate. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you. It's not really relevant to his message today, but it's something to do with a plate or inserting something into the top of the mouth. I'm not quite sure what it actually is. It's some sort of something that goes in the roof of the mouth is all I can say. Not quite sure what it is. Could be a mortuary piece as well. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I'm going to send you loads of love. All right, kids. I know that it's been a long time and it's been a dry spell, and I can't guarantee you that it's going to be every week. Check my hair out. Holy shit. Sometimes I feel like I've got Tourette's. It's like, but anyway, getting back to it. I know it's been a dry spell. I can't guarantee that I can get on every single night, every single week. But when I'm drawn to, I will jump on as often as I possibly can. I'm so grateful that you've all jumped on and that you all haven't, you know, absconded and, you know, left me for other mediums out there. As I said a little bit earlier, sometimes you just have to step back and recoup. And like I said, you know, I have been through a really growth period in working in the funeral industry. And I guess my understanding of death in general has grown immensely. And, you know, I think that you guys will benefit from that down the track. But I'm sending love to you all. And thank you for those amazing pictures that you guys have sent through. If it is possible, I would love to be able to pop those up on the Facebook page. Just let me know if that's going to be okay. If not, that's okay too. And sending you loads of love, guys. Be kind, be generous. And Summer and everybody else, just remember that you can only do the best that you can do. And nobody can expect anything else from you other than that. So ending on that note, we'll say good night and wish you all the very best. Love you loads. Bye.